All right, 4:30. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nick, I thought you were giving us a note to sing. We can do the national anthem as well. Let's see here. I would be looking for a vote on a consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 6.
I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We will now, we've got some time for audience comments. If you're in the audience and you'd like to make a comment, please come up to the podium and limit yourself to 3 minutes. And if you're online and would like to make a comment, please use the raise your hand function and we'll get you piped in.
Hello, Commission, George. My name is Kevin Duncan. This is rather loud. You know, I can stand up, work on energized high voltage lines up to 500,000. I'm not nervous at all, but I'm nervous here. Seeing all you guys in your underwear is just not right. I'm the KVA Electric. I'm President General Manager. Been doing this work for more than 50 years. I was the company that was hired to test and evaluate the failed transformer at the SRD project and get it replaced, according to staff, within 2 days of Skagit County running out of water. I'm requesting an executive session to discuss with the commission and George and the attorney Pete things that have come to light that really needs to be discussed to avoid potential litigation and complaints against a few public employees. If not granted that, I don't have any other choice but to share what has happened since then. And I'm trying to handle this as lowest level as possible. So I'm making a request for executive session. I believe it qualifies under Section F and Section I, and under Section I, there's a couple of subsections there, double I or triple I don't remember. The point is, I think it'd be best for the district to speak privately at first.
Great. Well, I appreciate your comments and we'll take that under advisement. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. If you're online and would like to make a comment, please use the raise your hand function. Anyone else in the room? Seeing none. George.
All right. Thank you, commissioners. Good afternoon. I've got a few things to cover, not many. The adoption of the budget is under new business. And so if that's approved today, we discussed canceling the next meeting on November 25th. So just remember that once we get to commissioner comments, I guess, if that gets to that point. So if the November 25th meeting is canceled, the end of year items, we should be able to address at the December 9th meeting. So that'd be our last meeting of the year if we were to then cancel the meeting the week of Christmas, which we discussed doing. And we should be able to take care of everything at the December 9th meeting. Good. So just keep that in mind as we get through the program today. There are PUD Association meetings this week in Olympia, and there's a water committee meeting tomorrow that Mark and I will be attending by Zoom. You should have received an invite for training day. It's on December 5th here in the Aqua Room at 8 a.m. So should be on your calendar. I checked. So just if you can't make it, please let us know, because we've got assigned roles for you to take care of, or at least for you, Andrew. And then the PUD holiday party is scheduled for December 13th. And I think emails have been sent around for that. Shannon's not here right now, but you can just remember that, and more details to come on that. I think it's going to be at Hillcrest Lodge. So that'll be on the 13th of December. Let's see. We have stopped pumping at the SRD until hopefully next spring, when we need to look at reservoir management for the upcoming summer. So we're just taking water through the creeks. And Kathy's still doing bargaining for our new contract with the customer service and billing group. So still trying to make progress on that. That is all that I have, unless there's any questions.
None for me, Joe?
Go.
Okay. All right, thank you, George. All right, so for new business, we've got first up, and rightly so, adoption of a 2026 budget. Brian?
All right, thank you, Commissioners. So in the packet, you should have received earlier the changes and modifications that we've been discussing in the work sessions. I outlined those in a table. Basically, we reduced the overall 2026 request by the 3.1 million. Most of that was on the CIP, the capital projects. 100,000 came out of operations for engineering hydraulic study. That was the only operations change that was made to the budget. You can see the ending result. We're about 1.8% higher than last year at $21,720,000. And at the next meeting, assuming it all goes as we discussed earlier with George, there'll be a resolution that approves the budget and a resolution for the rate tables. So right now, we prepared the budget with a 5% increase. We were waiting for the Seattle ENR index for construction. It is actually a negative number right now, so the SDF will remain the same for next year, but all other rates and fees were increased by 5%, with the exception of the third tier and the water consumption table, which is going up by 8.5%. And that goes back to the 2019 rate study and the desire and goal of the board at that time to increase the tiers so that it was to incentivize conservation instead of having it go down each time you got to a higher tier. Eventually, the third tier will be up with the second tier and the first tier. But anyway, that's out many years still. But that one went up 8.5. Happy to answer any questions that you might have about the budget.
Discussion. Any more questions for Brian?
No, I appreciate all the detail that we got into the last couple of budget work sessions. I feel like we have a lot better idea of what our next few years looks like, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the time and energy that went into all that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll bring the resolutions forward at the next meeting.
Thanks. All right, with no further discussion, I'd be looking for a motion.
Well, again, I would say thanks to staff for all the hard work that goes into this over the last probably, well, for department heads, probably 4 or 5, 6 months. And with that, I would make a motion to approve the adoption of the 2026 budget as presented in tonight's packet.
And I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, the motion carries, and we have a budget. Thank you, everyone. Fantastic. All right, now we're going to look at an approval for revised policy for state sick leave. Kathy.
Hello, Commissioners. So back in 2018, due to changes to the Washington State Legislature, we implemented a required paid sick leave plan. And because we had already provided more leave than what was required, we implemented a policy so we could determine how we were going to split that time out, how we were going to administer that policy. And then since that's happened, there have been changes to the requirements. They've enriched that requirement a bit. First of all, they have expanded some language relating to what constitutes a family member. That's been broadened. And the other thing is they have required it to be used when employees have to prepare for or participate in judicial or administrative immigration proceedings. So this is really just a housekeeping issue. We are updating the policy to reflect those changes. And otherwise, there is no substantive change to how it is being administered. So
Awesome.
we're just looking for a motion for approval unless anybody has any questions.
No. All right, hearing none.
And make a motion to authorize the general manager to sign policy 1027 regarding Washington State paid sick leave.
I second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next up is a 2026 updates to resolution establishing positions and salary ranges. Here you are.
Here I am. I'm already here. Might as well talk about it. So we do this every year. This is just the new resolution establishing the salary ranges for all of our non-represented positions. This incorporates the updates from this year's salary study that we spent a lot of time and effort on, as well as the 3.7% COLA. There are a couple of changes, revisions to positions. The first one is the safety and risk coordinator position has been updated to safety manager. As part of our comp study this year, we wanted to make sure it reflected the breadth of duties that were involved in that position. And so it made sense for us to reclassify that as a manager position. And then the second thing is the asset analyst for GIS. We have two asset analysts. We have one for CityWorks and one for GIS. And we determined as part of our study this year that just the specialization, I can speak, of duties involved in the GIS position makes more sense to differentiate that and make it a GIS analyst. So other than that, there are no substantive changes, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Awesome. Anything?
No, I appreciate the questions that you already answered for
Okay.
this meeting.
Okay. All right. So we're looking for a motion on that.
I motion to approve 2026 updates resolution establishing positions and salary ranges for non-union staff and supervising employees.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right, lots of good information in the packet. Thanks for keeping us on the loop on the reservoir. Commissioner comments, and we need to
Do we need
discuss
to
the,
discuss-
yeah.
Or-
Oh,
Do we have to
canceling the-
motion?
Yeah.
cancel?
Yeah. we
Okay,
have
I
a
motion to cancel our next regularly scheduled meeting as well as our regularly scheduled meeting during December, the week of Christmas.
You can wait to do that one if you prefer. You can just do the next one if you want, but you can do both too.
Let's do both.
Let's do
Okay.
both.
Yeah. All right, we have a motion to cancel the second Tuesday meetings the second of the meetings.
for each month,
For each month.
November 25th
Fifth
and
and
December
23rd.
23rd. All right, we have a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
A motion carries. All right. Other commissioner comments?
I would just throw out that I sat in on the PERMS meeting the other day. The last couple of years have been pretty heavy with claims, and that was kind of medical costs are going up and there's some large claims out there, so it's kind of the nature of the world right now.
No doubt. Thank you for staying on top of that for us. I would just second what Joe said about getting through the budget process. It's really for our benefit, right? You know what you need and you presented it very well, and we're able to really articulate again, so that when we have the conversations in the Fred Meyer parking lot, we're able to explain to people how it is that we're being such just stewards of these funds and making sure that we have that safe and reliable water. So thank you for all the work that goes into that. All right, hearing nothing else, we will adjourn at 4:43.